In the depths of the Amazon rainforest, on the banks of the Tapajos River, the remnants of an American dream slowly rot beneath vines and tropical heat. This is Fordlandia, a once grand industrial experiment conceived by Henry Ford in the 1920s as a utopia of productivity, order, and rubber plantations. What remains today is an eerie collection of crumbling factories, rusted water towers, decaying homes, and empty roads swallowed by the jungle. It is a ghost town born from hubris, ambition, and one man's dream to transplant American values to the heart of Brazil. Henry Ford, the automotive magnate and architect of modern mass production, had a vision that extended beyond cars. By the 1920s, the Ford Motor Company was one of the most powerful corporations in the world, but it faced a serious vulnerability: dependence on British-controlled rubber from Southeast Asia. To break free from that monopoly, Ford decided to grow his own rubber trees. And so, Fordlandia was born, an ambitious $20 million project intended to turn thousands of acres of Amazonian rainforest into a rubber empire. In 1928, Ford negotiated a land deal with the Brazilian government, acquiring 2.5 million acres. But this wasn't just to be a plantation. It was to be a model town, a civilized American community in the jungle. He envisioned white picket fences, Model Ts on the roads, ice cream parlors, golf courses, and strict rules on behavior, diet, and alcohol. Brazilian workers would not only harvest latex, but also be improved by American ideals of hygiene, morality, and productivity. But the Amazon had other plans. From the start, the project was plagued by failure. Ford's engineers and managers had no experience with tropical agriculture. Rubber trees, which thrive when scattered in the wild, were planted in dense rows, making them easy targets for pests and disease. Leaf blight, scale insects, and poor soil quality destroyed entire crops. Attempts to force American-style suburban order on the Brazilian workers backfired. Locals were required to eat unfamiliar foods in factory-style cafeterias, forbidden from drinking alcohol, and subjected to a strict schedule foreign to their culture. Resentment grew quickly. By 1930, tensions exploded into what became known as the Fordlandia Revolt. Brazilian workers rioted, chasing American managers into the jungle. Order was eventually restored, but the damage was done. Ford replaced the managers and moved operations upstream to a second site, dubbed Belterra, hoping for better conditions. But Fordlandia never recovered. Neither location produced significant rubber, and by the 1940s, synthetic rubber and geopolitical shifts rendered the entire project obsolete. In 1945, the Ford Motor Company sold Fordlandia back to the Brazilian government at a massive loss. The dream was dead, and the jungle began its slow reclamation. Today, Fordlandia stands as one of the most surreal, abandoned towns in the world. The steel skeletons of warehouses stretch toward the sky. The rusted remains of American water towers loom over rows of half-collapsed worker houses. An empty hospital and unused swimming pool collect rain and moss. The original water filtration system sits idle. A gutted power plant and decaying tractors dot the landscape. The ghost of industrial order clashes with the relentless chaos of nature. Despite its abandonment, Fordlandia is not entirely devoid of life. A small Brazilian community still lives nearby, and some structures have been repurposed for housing and shops. But the grand vision, the clean, disciplined American town in the jungle, is long gone, a failure immortalized in concrete and rust. Fordlandia is more than a failed business venture. It's a symbol of cultural arrogance, the limits of industrialization, and the hubris of trying to bend nature and people to corporate will. It is a tropical Pompeii of modern capitalism, frozen not in volcanic ash, but in ideological ruin. For urban explorers, historians, and curious travelers, Fordlandia is an irresistible sight. It's a monument to misplaced ambition, a living classroom in environmental science, and a cautionary tale that resonates today as the Amazon faces new threats from development and deforestation. Wandering through Fordlandia, one can't help but feel a sense of awe and melancholy. The silence is broken only by the hum of insects and the wind through broken windows. It's a place where history isn't just remembered, it's scattered across the ground, slowly decaying under the weight of the rainforest. Henry Ford set out to build a paradise of rubber and order. What he left behind is a poetic ruin that tells us more about the dangers of unchecked ambition than it ever did about industry. Fordlandia is not just an abandoned town. It is a mirror, reflecting the clash between nature and progress, ideals and reality, empire and the earth itself.